The Divine Walk.
I don't know if raising a teenager in today is worse than the previous generation of raising a teenager, but it seems so to me. And it probably think that you are a teenager that go through temptation worse than you have, but and your parents think that you're going trials you experience as a teenager were worse than you were before. Whether things are worse now that they were before, here are some practical tips for raising a teenager that every Christian home can put into practice regardless of the generation that you have. Try to find out are two that you can implement today from the tip that I am giving you. So these are Christian parenting advice for raising a teen. Step number one, love your teenager. Love can be shown in many different ways, and the action and attitude we show towards our teen means much more than the words we say, however. But if you neglect to tell them that you love them, it may seem like mushy and necessary to say I love you to your teen, but it will mean so much to them in the coming year having heard their parents say a right attitude towards your teen will communicate love to them. Does any conversation leave your exaggeratory? It is doing the same if for your son or your daughter too. Find a way to encourage them in conversation that does not end but one are both to be frustrated, one are both communicate with love. Number two, respect your teens. Show your respect in the way you speak to them or about them. Talk to them and honor and speak of them respectfully in their present or out of their present, to adult or their teen peer. Your kids are watching and listening, and they will pick up when you speak honorable towards them. While you probably mentally or emotionally superior of your teen, this does not mean you need to lord that over them with insult or even as innocent as playful insult seems to you. Make sure your child see them that way too. You know, teasing on your part may not be accepted as funny to your teen. Number three, have clear but few rules. Let me explain. A part of respect is and love is to have good rules. This set boundaries, even if they say we don't like rules. The truth is, everyone like to show the limitation and expectation, right? And have rule as clear to them. I don't know that I can give you the set of rule that will work in every house or situation, but I can give you an example with what my parents used as when growing up. So as a whole teen, my brother and I had already learned what was expected to us from our parents. Therefore, I only remember one rule we had throughout the years in our parents' home. And amazing thing is that the rules sum up so much of everything that we have been taught as younger kids. The rule was that was must be home from my any activity or outing by the 11 p.m. If we were going to be out of later, we need to call for permission or to explain why would not be home by then. This simple rule that kept us out of a lot of trouble. My parents knew exactly where were we and when were we or where were we. Our parents were showing respect to us, entrusting us, show respect to our parents by calling, even if we have 2 minutes from home from 11 p.m. We will find, you know. We will find the phone, call them, respect them enough, not cause them to worry. It also caused our friend to have higher respect for our parents, and they knew the rule that our parents negotiated. So this is a rule that was set in our home. Ecclesiastes 6 say that not provoke your children to wrath. This means that don't frustrate them. Stupid rule that no one understands, or rule that inconsiderate with others, especially the simple frustrated those who govern by them. As a other, we have probably all experienced these type of rules at work, right? Number 4, expect obedience. When you set a rule, you should also discuss the consequences. Allow your children to help you determine the consequence. You might be surprised that they will assign a greater punishment on themselves than you would. Then you will need to consider in applying the consequences in those along with not with frustration, your child with stupid rule, but your teens, yes, need to know that there are always consequences for disobedience. And if one of your children, get away with breaking a rule or another one doesn't, then you frustrate your child and break down the respect they have for you or their siblings. When enforcing you have to encourage upon you need to remember that you are a parent, not their high school friend. Your job is to train your teenager into godly citizenship who know how to think to their own work. A true friend and a parent will do what is right for a teen, not partner with them to fight other authority figure. 5. Encourage them and be a role model. Talk with your teenager. Find way to encourage them in conversation. They hate going to go to you and for advice and share their heart. And if their interaction with you saying that brush your teeth, clean your room, don't wear that, find conversation starter. What did you do in school today? Does not count. What is your child interested in? You should become at least somewhat knowledgeable about that subject or engage in them. Seek common ground to help them engage in team conversation, then listen, let them talk. If you correct them on everything to say or like feel like you have control over the conversation, then you are going to turn off your teen interest, right? Yeah, okay. Be a role model, an example how you want them to live. Speak respect to them and of others. Model your behavior you want your child to show. And if you spend the evening complaining about the way the boss run his buildings and you are modeling the behavior of a teen sitting with your friend complaining the way you run your house, do as I say and not as I do. Should I never be a part of the training schedule? Your children will do as the question is, are you living the same way you want them to live? Yeah, are you living the same way you want them to live? I have heard that said what leadership does, the moderation their followership will do in access. But if you took all your own habit and good or bad and multiply their intensity 2 or 5 times, would you want to be around yourself? Okay. Do you like what you see? Change what you can. Pass on your relationship with God and affirm their good action. It said that God has no grandchildren. What it mean by that? A child is not saved because of the relationship his parents have with God. Each person must come to God on his own. Theoretically, that is true, but however, practically, a child will most likely to come to a personal relationship with God because of the lesson he learned from his parents. Share your love for God with your children. Teenagers need assurance while they are seeking independence, and they also want to know that they are accepted and loved. Praise them when they do well. It is so easy to live in a same house without talking or engaging one another, even in a home which is free of stress. For many, our only time they will talk to their teenager is when they have to deal with a problem. Don't let this be your relationship with your child. Seek out your way to affirm your good action and decision. I am curious to see what God has taught you in raising your teen. Practically, I'm curious the way you consider to be good rules for a teenager. Please leave your comment. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. and we will see you.
The Divine